installing a blind spot detection system, blind spot monitor, with cross traffic alert in the case of this one, into a CADDY Mk4. It's going to be quite similar on a number of vehicles, but this is specifically a CADDY Mk4. First of all, remove your back bumper. I've got a wheelchair ramp, which means that my bumper comes in two parts, but normally it'd go all the way across the back, and you have to remove it. You have to remove a couple of screws at the front in the wheel arch and a number of screws anywhere else you can find them. This is where I mounted the radar on the right hand side. You can see here, this normally is a bit of plastic like this that goes straight down and joins there. Cut that out, or I cut that out with an angle grinder and a Stanley knife. Then you can put your radar into position, check out the angle with the angle meter. There's a little angle finding template. You put that against it, set it to the right sort of angle. You can see down the bottom here, if I point in the right place, there, that's where a screw goes up into the metal bracket that's attached to the radar. Drill a hole in the appropriate position and screw that up. You can then tilt this side to side like that to get the correct angle to the traffic, and then I found it impossible to find a position where you could put a screw at the top, so I used a little bit of Sikaflex on each corner. That's top corners and a bit down there. Blobs of Sikaflex industrial glue, can't remember the number, and that mounts it. Leave it a few hours to cure, and it's absolutely lovely. It's all nice and solid at a set angle. This is the multi-pin plug that goes into the side of the unit, and that goes to a cable that goes across to the other side of the vehicle in my case. But to be honest, if you're doing it on a normal right-hand drive vehicle, I would reverse or mirror the instructions and bring the cables to the right hand side instead of to the left hand side as in their diagram and installation, because it makes life a little bit easier, because all your cables go down the right hand side of the vehicle, which is where the power fuse box is, and it makes life a little bit easier. You only have to run one cable across to the left hand side for the front LED device. This comes out. I've already loosened it off. This comes out, and there's a nice grommet there that you can pass all the cables through. There's one or two cables that have to go through. One for the left hand radar and one for the right hand radar. If you reverse everything, then the right hand radar becomes the red plug on its cable, and the left hand one becomes the blue plug. The way it is in the diagram is for a left hand drive vehicle where left is port and red. If you reverse it, send it up the right hand side, bring it in through this grommet here. This air vent undoes with a couple of little clips at the bottom. I don't know if you can see them, that you can stick your fingers in and lift, so that makes life easy. Then it comes out like that and falls on the ground. You take the cables across the back to the other radar. I've had to send it through the ramp area. You just normally send it through in the back of the bumper. This is my left hand one. These are my cables going up into the inner wheel arch, but like I say, if you right hand drive, I do it all reversed and send it up the right hand side. Right, I'll look at the front in a moment. Right, so you should have by now brought all the wires up the right hand side of your vehicle if you're right hand drive, left hand side if you're left hand drive, or you want to follow the instructions rather than mirroring them. They come up behind here and go into the fuse box area in there. You have to really remove this. You have to remove this panel. This panel is 4 screws, 1 there and 3 over there. That comes off, and then you can remove your your OBD2 socket and your lighting sockets. Remove the wires from the back of them so that you can remove the whole panel nicely. This comes off very easily, but you don't well, yeah, maybe you need it. I don't think you do, but you might as well remove it. It's very easy. What you got to do at this point is you've got to, apart from wiring in positive and earth into the fuse box area, you've got to take an LED wire to the left hand side of the vehicle to do the left hand signal LED, and to the right hand side of the vehicle to do the right hand side. This is the kind of thing that comes in the kit as standard. A stick on little LED thing to warn you when somebody's coming up your inside or outside in your blind spot. I find these a little bit obtrusive. They're a bit big, and what you can do, I've done it with the other one. If we find it, here we go. If you can't really see it on this, can you? It's everything's a bit too bright. There you go. If you cut away a little bit of the backing and then trim a little tiny bit of the white backing, plastic back of the LED thing, you can make it so that the wire comes out sort of backwards almost. Then you can drill a hole and stick it up so you don't have that wire coming all the way down. Now on the Caddy, the way where they normally put it is somewhere sort of here. Now I think it looks absolutely terrible if you got the wire, and it's a bit of a big thing as well. So yeah, it just didn't grab me as a concept, having something like this stuck on. There's not a really good place to sort of mount it that is flat and pointing in the right direction. So anyway, that for me wasn't really very good. So instead of that, I bought from another seller these 14mm hole versions that I've mounted into the little cover that goes over the wing mirror attachments. Now the trouble is, you got to get to that position. It's easy enough to remove the door panel. That's a couple of little twisty things at the bottom, and there's a screw behind there and there. Pull off this cover, 2 screws, take off, allow the whole door thing to come away, the door panel to come away, and then there's clips up each side, and the whole thing hooks over the top of the door by the window and hangs on there. Anyway, you've got to get your LED cable into the door. Now to do that, you have to remove this cover, which is a little clip at the top. You have to push down on the clip to release it, and I find you have to pry it as well with a pry tool of some kind to remove this rubber boot. Then what you have to do is, the LED wire is here. There's this little hole at the bottom of the socket that's mounted in the door frame, in the A-pillar sort of frame, whatever it is, and that allows you to get the wire through. You have to poke it from outside to inside, because you can't really get to the inside properly to find out where to poke it. So you have to push it through from here and put your hand up inside here and feel around and grab it and pull it through. You also have to get it through this rubber boot here. You make a little hole in the rubber boot, and only a small hole. Poke the wire in from here through the rubber boot and then through the door frame into the inside world, drag it all the way through. This end, push in through there, remove a grommet inside here, and then you can get the wire through, put it through the rubber grommet, feed it up into here behind this. This comes off. Again, it's got two white type push things down here, and it's got two pins with white nylon, well, I don't know, some sort of soft plastic thing. They pull out, and you have to remove those from the back of the pins and put them back in the holes before you reassemble everything. Anyway, that makes a much nicer position for the little LED alert lights. So that's about it really. Get it through there and you've got it done. It's tricky, but it's doable. And yeah, finish all the wiring as per the thing, and then it works. I would suggest, if you're getting one of these things, don't get the 2-color version, get the single color version, because it doesn't really matter about the red, to be honest. It's flashing and bleeping at you, so you know what's going on. It's a warning. These ones are yellow, they're only yellow, so if you get the 2-color one, they only light up yellow and they don't flash unless you bridge a couple of earths in the wiring, which I can explain somewhere maybe if you want to know about it. That's about it really. It takes quite a long time to do because it's all fiddly and getting wires through various bits of vehicle is fun. This is the best bit, getting it through here. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, on the bottom of this thing here, in order for it to go through the gap above this clip but through the hole where this clip fits, you have to cut a little, don't know whether you can see it, yeah, it's too bright, the light. What I did was, there is a little groove, everything's just too bright, you can't see it really. There you go, you can sort of see it there. Cut a groove, or I actually melted it with a soldering iron to make a nice little wire shaped groove through that bottom clip. That allows the wire to go in the space where the clip should be, and it is. That's about it really on the tips and tricks for getting it through that thing. It's very good, it works, doesn't cost a lot of money, and yeah, I think it's a bit of a safety feature personally. Thank you.